Now, last time I was privileged to sit in this seat, we talked about y'all bottling allow. And in the last year, I have been trying to find that allow without much success in many ways. The last time I was here, we talked about my weight and started working on that. And I was saying that everything else was going well at the time. And in the last year, everything else has sort of gone down except my weight. Trying to find the balance on how to allow. I feel like I've been unsuccessful at it. And I'm also trying to find how to get in touch with my passion.
Well, the thing that is most, they go very well together, because when you say I'm trying to find something that I can't find, you're really setting yourself up for more not finding it. When you use words like, I'm having a hard time allowing, when you speak about things as they are, your perpetuation of what is just sort of running rampant through your vibration, so things can't change. So much so that the thing that you're working the hardest on becomes the dominant vibration, but since the thing that you're working the hardest on isn't working, then, and it's the dominant vibration, then it affects everything in your experience. So the easiest way is to find something that is working and give it your undivided attention. But that takes discipline. In other words, everything that we've been talking about here today is about directing thought for the purpose of inducing an improved feeling. And it just couldn't be a simpler idea. And yet it isn't the easiest thing to apply because of what we were just talking about recently. The thoughts that are active. So you've got to find a way of activating different things within you. So if the environment around you is just so in your face that it almost seems like it forces the activation of certain things, then you might want to go someplace else. But the problem is, everywhere you go, the universe shows you that same set of stuff because it's coming in response to the way you're offering thought. So finally, you just have to sort of get decisive. You have to sort of get determined. You have to say, I get it that I am creating through my thought, and I'm doing a lousy job of directing my thought. I've got lazy thought. I'm thinking the thoughts that are the easiest to think. And the reason that they're the easiest to think is because they are the most active. Now, in all of this, we're not saying to you that you're doing anything wrong. We're saying you're doing the most natural thing in the world. You're letting the thoughts that surround you get your attention. It's sort of like lying in bed and watching a movie that you hate, but staying with it because maybe it will get better. Right. So you just watch one more awful scene after one more awful scene after one more awful scene after one more awful scene, and then you say, I'm privileged to sit in this chair where I might have a conversation about, you see. And we say, you just got to decide that you want to feel better and that you're willing to think thoughts that do feel better. And the easy thoughts don't necessarily feel the best.
I've thought I was there so many times, and it almost feels like I can get up a little bit and then it steps down.
Well, that's because you are stopping to take score. It's like, okay, I'll think thought. Did it work? Nope. I'll think thought. Did it work?
Yeah.
Nope. I'll think the thought. And pretty soon, no, it didn't work. It didn't work. And we say, but it will. You just got to find your way. That's why, since we visited with you and so many of you, we're talking about a vortex in a different way. And the reason that we're talking about a vortex in a different way is because we want you to get your mind off your weight and your mind on the vortex. We want the vortex to be the event you're working on, not your weight. Because as long as it's reduction of weight, then where the weight is what's active in your vibration. It's like you pick up the stick that says perfect body weight on one end and imperfect body weight on the other end. And whenever you pick it up, you activate it where it is. So we want you to put your mind and your thoughts and your intention and your desires and your goals on getting in the vortex rather than on weight.
That's a great analogy. The whole vortex thing is very resonant.
So let's do a focus wheel on weight with the intention of getting into the vortex. Let's just do some focus wheels here. So we've been talking about them all day. Do you get the concept of them? So the idea of the focus wheel is to recognize that I'm not in the vortex and do this process with the intention of getting in the vortex. And what could be better than a focus wheel to get me into the vortex? In other words, they are so much the same, this spinning energy. So let's start with the subject that you are describing as the one that you've been working on the longest, that is plaguing you the most. Right. I am unhappy with my current physical body condition. That's what's at the root of this intention to do this focus wheel. So now let's find a statement that you don't feel right now, but it sounds good when we say it. In other words, this is the goal statement. This is where you want to end up. So let's find the words that depict what you're reaching for from where you are.
I cherish my body. I feel wonderful in my body.
Now, it's interesting because sometimes, even as you find those words, what we're really looking for, this is new, we haven't said this before. What you're really reaching for in this center statement is, ready? How my inner being from inside the vortex sees it. Because the focus wheel is for the purpose of getting in the vortex. So what you're putting there, that felt good, didn't it?
Yeah.
So what you're putting there, you're reaching for the statement of how the source within you sees you. So source says, I adore my good feeling physical body. Now, that didn't throw you off in the bushes like the other ones did.
That's true.
All right, so I adore my good feeling physical body because that's what you're reaching for. You want love of your body. In other words, you want to come in the back door. You say, I want to whip it into shape so I can love it, but that'll get you nowhere. The source is already there. Source already has amassed all of the components that you've been putting there bit by bit. I adore my good feeling physical body. So now, you want to, from your human outside the vortex form, reason we're doing the focus wheel form, reason I'm doing the focus wheel, want to get in the vortex, the reason I'm doing this, you're from that position going to find some statements, and we're going to find 12 of them, that we can write around the outside of this, and there will be sort of momentum that will gather. So now your goal is to get on the board somewhere, some way, with a statement that does not contradict what source feels about you, but that you already believe. So now you're reaching for the first matching point. Source adores my good feeling physical body. Now I'm reaching for something that sort of kind of matches that doesn't throw me off in the bushes in contradiction when I try. Off in the bushes meaning, you know how the merry-go-round in the playground is? And the kids have got it going too fast and you try to get on, it throws you off in the bushes. But if they would just slow it down, then you could get on, then you could speed it up and have a really good ride. Well, it's like that. So you want to find the thought that you can think easily, which means you already believe it, that matches with sources in the center of the vortex. I adore my good feeling physical body. What do you know? What do you already believe that matches that?
I nourish my body.
Off in the bushes.
Oh. I care for my body.
Off in the bushes. That's the work.
Bushes are getting close.
Just keep feeling around for it. I adore my good feeling body.
I adore my good feeling body. My body is a very wonderful tool for me. My body responds to me.
Slow down just a little bit, because some of it was on and some of it was off. In other words, if you really believe that your body responded to you, then you'd be where you want to be. And so that sort of aggravates something that isn't working. So keep going. Parts of my body are great.
Parts of my body work wonderfully for me.
Now see, they do, don't they?
Yes.
Parts of my body work wonderfully for me. Now that completely matches that first statement. So now you and Source are on the same page. You've found vibrational alignment. Now stay there and resonate there and milk that. That vibration is now active within you. Let's focus on it for at least 17 seconds until it really gets active. Let's stay there. Let's milk that. Parts of my body really work well. My body is amazing. It's incredible how a physical body functions. It's amazing. All of the parts of my body that perform perfectly, and I don't have to think about it. I do not have a things to do today list that says keep my blood pumping at night, make sure I'm breathing all through the night. In other words, my body really is working. Now we've stayed there for 17 seconds. Now the statements will come more easily.
My body is incredibly healthy.
That sticks.
That one sticks. My body has served me incredibly well throughout this entire lifetime.
Good. It's fun to be in a physical body. I love the tactile, physical, visceral experience of it.
The whole ability to do many things with the body.
I'm sure I chose this with great determination, and I think I chose very well. And I know that I didn't choose a feathered nest, and I like molding the clay of my life experience. And it's fun to have opportunities to move things in the direction of what I like. And nothing is more responsive to my thought than my physical body. And now I'm aware of the direction of my thought. It's going to be fun to watch my body move in concert with that.
And my body grows more into my thought all the time.
And so now you're there. Now milk it if you want to. Now make more statements. In other words, the purpose of it is to stay there long enough that you feel a little momentum. The purpose of it really is to stay there long enough that you begin to feel a little hopefulness about the modification of what's bothering you. I like my physical body. I like that it's receptive. I like knowing about mind. I like knowing about directing thought. I like showing myself that I can direct my thought in ways that feel better. I like knowing that I'm in the vortex. I can feel that I just got myself in the vortex. My physical body is not at the physical weight that I want it to be, but I can feel that I got myself into the vortex. I can feel that right now there's no vibrational separation between me and me, which means there's no vibrational separation between me and what I wrote in the center of that circle, which means things are already in motion, and I can begin to see the evidence of it. And I know that it's coming. I'm not just hopeful. I know that it's coming. And I know that this has been good work. And this is really good leverage work. And I love the power of my mind. And it isn't about action. It's about energy. And I love coming into vibrational alignment with the whole of who I am. And this subject has caused me to hook up with source energy, not just relative to the subject of my body, but relative to all subjects. I'm in the power of source energy at this time. I can direct this in any way that I want. I can direct it toward financial conditions. I can direct it toward physical functions. I can direct it toward physicality. I can direct it toward my relationship with others. I'm in the vortex. I'm tuned in, tapped in, turned on. There is nothing that I cannot be or do or have. I'm invincible. All things are possible to me. I love this physical experience. I love my physical body. I love knowing the power of my beingness. I love knowing the power of my mind. I can hardly wait to direct it towards something that is even more exhilarating to me. I love being a deliberate creator of my own experience. And I fully expect my physical apparatus will be a cooperative component from here on out.
Whoa.
It's just a matter of getting into the vortex where the knowledge is, getting into the vortex where the cooperation is. We convinced you that your only work is to get into the vortex. And do you understand? Did you see how resistant to it he seemed at first, and yet how easily he went once we got a hold of it? And did you feel the breakthrough just now, that what you're reaching for is the perspective of your inner being, and then just find something within you? And there always is something. It is our promise to you on every subject. There is a vibrational hook of something that you already believe that completely matches how your inner being feels about you. Have you felt today that this entire gathering has been upon the opposing, sometimes contradictory, sometimes complementary, sometimes opposing, sometimes in vibrational alignment, opinions or perspectives of you and you? Can you feel? Can you feel that the larger part of you is alive and well? And can you feel that you can come into concert with it if you choose? And can you feel, have we made it clear to you that even though we adore you wherever you are, we're not coming out of the vortex to play with you? If you are to find the clarity that is us, you got to come in the vortex. If you are to find the passion that is us, you've got to come in the vortex. You've got to come in here where what you put is, you see, because there's no regression. There's no turning back. You cannot be less than you have become.